Welcome. Please Strange Roadside Service. Here we are. We're in. Took me a while to figure it out. You know, as a trucker, you should always know where you're at. I didn't know even what state I was in until 5 o'clock last night. I was like, I'm in Wisconsin. I called my brother, not my brother, but my bro. I called my bro, my friend. I said, I'm in Wisconsin, brother. He said, you're in Wisconsin? Where? What are you near? And I told him. He's like, that's not Wisconsin. I'm like, oh shit, where the fuck am I? I was in Minnesota. I think I'm in Wisconsin now. I don't know. Last night I was stayed in Red Wing, Minnesota. I thought it was going to be in Wisconsin. I don't know. It was so foggy last night that I'm pretty sure I did pass by a state line marker or whatever, but I couldn't read it. I couldn't see anything. I couldn't see. The best distance that I got was 5 seconds. Well, not the. I mean, obviously, I had better than that earlier in the day and stuff. But the fog up here is insane. Yeah, the best I had wasn't 5 seconds. The best I had was, full vision. But when you're in the fog, like you're just driving, you're like, I hope there isn't a pile up or everybody stopped up ahead because I have no vision. And you're saying, well, slow down a little bit. Well, I did slow down a little bit, and I figured out my own little methodology to driving in the fog was I'm going to let this guy that's hauling ass pass me, and then I'm going to wait till I can almost not see his taillights, but I can still see him. I can't see the outline of his truck. I can just see the red dots of a semi, obviously. More than likely a semi, because cars are way too fucking quick for me. And all these people up here, they're like, oh, we live up here, bud. Or some shit, I don't know. They all got that accent. So I would wait until I couldn't see his taillights, and then I would speed up until I could see his taillights, and then I'd try to follow him right at that distance. So I have the most following distance that I can see, and if he hits his brakes, I know I need to start hitting my brakes and throwing my flashers and shit. But there's no accidents or any issues out on the road. I don't know. Usually my phone will pop up and be like, oh, welcome to whatever state you're in. I missed it, I think. But man, oh man, it was a long drive, and apparently going from where I was to Red Wing, it took me to save me probably a minute. It took me through all of I wouldn't say back roads because they were all like marked highways with a shoulder and stuff, but they're like, I'm out in the middle of fucking nowhere, is what it feels like. And I'm just like, oh, turn left here, then turn right up here, then left, and then right, and you're just zigzagging straight over to Red Wing, and I did not like it in the fog. And then that's when it started to get dark, and it was just like there's nobody out on the road. But then it's like, I don't know, is a moose gonna come out in the middle of the fucking road, and I'm gonna fucking hammer that motherfucker down? I'm gonna have no signal. Is a bear gonna come out and try to eat my porridge or some shit? I don't know, but I don't want to find out. And I don't even know what the fuck porridge is. It's in a bowl, I think. Sounds like grits. Porridge sounds like grits with like a little bit of like lamb meat in it or something. I have no idea what porridge is. It sounds like you could pour it. That's why they put it in a bowl. So it's liquidy-ish. But I don't know. Every time I think of porridge, I don't know. Maybe I need to look up porridge and figure out I might like it. Throw some fucking cayenne pepper, some seasoned salt. Maybe it'd be good. I don't know. I have no idea. But I feel like people up here, they've all eaten porridge. Everybody up here is eating porridge. and they've gotten a little. They can smell the poutine coming off of the Canadian border or something. I don't know, but it was a not, I wouldn't say super nerve wracking drive, but it was concerning most of the time. I'm like, I have to keep my eyes open and staring ahead all the time because you never know when something's gonna come flying out of the fog at you. That movie, The Mist, dude, you don't know what the fuck's coming. You gotta watch the hell out. So I made it all the way up into Red Wing, and then I had to pull over and find a place to eat because there was, like I said, I took a zigzag through the middle of nowhere, through tiny little towns, which there was actually only like two towns that I went through. There's one that I don't even know if I think it was just some houses close to each other. I don't think it was a town. I don't know. But I was like, I gotta find some food because I ate all of my ham. That ham was so fucking good that I cooked for our Christmas night dinner. And I brought some with me, but I ate it all. I ate every last scrap of ham out of there. I said, why would I leave two slices? It'll just piss me off tomorrow. Actually, I would love to have two slices of ham right now. That shit's so fucking good. So, anyways, I looked up. Where my Holiday Inn was. There was a couple of restaurants, and I saw one. It was a Godfather's Pizza, but it looked like an actual pizzeria. I was like, "Oh, buddy," and they're open. Because a lot of places, especially out here in these small towns, are like, "Hey, yeah, all the restaurants are going to be closed. You guys need to eat your leftovers. So fuck off. We're not opening. It's Christmas. We're not going to open our restaurants in our small little towns." Because yeah, a couple of small little towns I drove through, and it's like there was an open sign, but it wasn't turned on. So I'm guessing they were closed. So I just kept on driving, got down there, went to the Godfather's Pizza, and luckily they had a nice big parking lot I could pull into. And there was also like a bowling alley and a grill next door, and I was like thinking about going over there, but I decided not to. I was like, I'm just gonna get the pizza real quick. And I don't know, I don't know. They had a big sign saying their dining room was closed, but I could still walk in there and like their dining room was. It's like they just didn't want to clean the tables. What lazy fucks up here in Minnesota? I'll tell you right now. Minnesota's got some lazy motherfuckers. At least at the Godfather's Pizza, okay? Listen, you guys need to get on your employees over there at the Godfather's Pizza and tell them, hey, out of towners are coming in here and now they're calling us lazy because you guys have your dining room closed for no fucking reason because you don't want to go wipe down the tables. What a fucking loser you guys are. And the guy was rude. He's like, hey, before you order, our dining room's closed. I'm like, okay, I guess I'll eat it outside then. The fuck? I'll eat it in the snow outside. What the fuck is this? Can I sit at the table while you're making my food? Like, can I do any of that? Like, I don't know. Like, all right, the dining room's closed. I'm not going to eat at the table, but I'm going to go cough and sneeze all over it and rub my bare ass on your chairs. He seemed to not have a problem with that. But they did make my pizza, and I got a salad, and I don't know. It was just a combo. I ordered a combo. It was like a one topping pizza and a side, and then I had to order a drink separate. But it was pretty fucking good. I don't know if they spit in it, but if they did, I don't blame them because that was pretty fucking delicious food. Um, I liked it all. I had a salad, had a lot of olives. That was nice, and they put two ranches in there, which I was like, my man. I put my fist up to my chest. I said, my man, two ranches in there. Because they could have just put one. You're like, this motherfucker out of towner got a semi here. He's thinking he can just eat in our dining room. fuck this guy. Let's give him half a ranch. Let's give him one ranch and fill it up halfway. But no, they did a good job. And then I tried to eat the pizza in the truck, but it was so fucking hot, and I was like, all right, I'm going to get out of here. I'm not Dave Portnoy. I can't fucking do this shit. I can't fucking do this. I can't. I tried. I can't. It's too hot. I got to go. So I just drove down to my hotel, and they have all these parking spots out front, and there's like 6 cars in the parking lot, like the main parking lot. But I just pulled up and parked out front, and it said 20-hour parking, so I was hoping that would be okay, and it was. Everything was fine with that. The lady's like, yeah, you are guest number 8. I'm like, really? She's like, yeah, we only have 8 people staying here tonight. She's like, we had 5 people check out this morning, and now we're pretty empty. So the pool's all yours. I'm like, well, I'm not gonna get in the fucking pool. Like, you guys are still doing breakfast even for 8 people? She's like, yeah, we'll do breakfast. I'm like, okay, good, because I mean, that's why I stay here. Fucking give me that breakfast. And I went up into my room, didn't even turn on the TV, didn't even close the window shade because I just had a beautiful snow-covered hill view. It was kind of nice. The only thing that was weird about it was I sit at the desk, I'm watching Cletus McFarland, I eat my pizza, the whole fucking thing. It was a lot bigger pizza than I thought it should have been, for one person for a combo meal. But whatever. They did give me 2 forks with my salad, and I'm like, why would you guys realize it's just me? Probably not. Maybe they thought I was getting it. Maybe they thought I had a friend. I don't have friends up here. So I ate the pizza. I ate the salad. And then I go lay in the bed, and as soon as I lay down, I just feel my whole body vibrating. And I'm like, oh no. Am I about to fucking have a heart attack? What is going on here? I shouldn't have eaten all that pizza. I'm just like vibrating. And I was like, all right, I just need to calm down, and I'll stop vibrating. But I was like, it's even my leg, like my whole entire body is just like, I'm like, what the fuck is going on? Did they put some of that fucking nerve agent in my fucking pizza? I don't know. But then I found out later on, like in the distance, I could hear a train, and there's a train. I guess it was pretty soundproofed or something because the train was going by. When the train stopped going by is when I stopped shaking. So I was like, okay, I'm on the 3rd floor. It's just, this is a shaky hotel, I guess. I don't know. So, yeah, heart attack averted today. That was nice. But yeah, I was like, there is something wrong with. I need to call my wife. I need to get on the phone with her right now and talk to her, make sure she knows. I'm in room 300. Please help me. Which, hey, that's annoying. Put me in room 300. You put me at the top of the hotel and all the way over the fucking side. I was basically, if I was on the lower floor, I'm room 0, is what it was. That was annoying as hell to me because on my Holiday Inn app, I marked it as I want to be close to the elevator. And let me tell you guys, I was not close to the fucking elevator. Oh, don't hit that fucking thing. I was at the very end of the hall, and like even the elevator, like there was like 6 rooms to the right of the elevator, and there was like 75 rooms to the left, and I had to walk all the way to the very fucking edge. It would have made more sense for me to use the stairs, but am I going to do that? No. I'm just going to bitch about it on my podcast. These, the people in Minnesota over here, though, I don't even know what fucking town I'm in. These ones are nice. I don't know. They're too nice is what they are. because I was in the right lane. My right lane's going to end soon. I was in the right lane on specifics so they could fucking pass me. So I don't have a giant line of cars behind me on these roads that I've never been on in the fog and rain, wet, curvy mountain roads. I don't even know if there's mountains out here, but if there are, I'm on it. Slower traffic, keep right. I'm slower. I'm in the right lane. Will you all pass me? I don't know if they will. I'm going nice and slow. Get on around me, everybody. Come on. Everybody come on through. I don't know what my lane is. Hurry the fuck up. Yeah, so I don't know. That's just normal bitching, and it's really I'm just bitching to be funny, is what it is. I'm really not bitching. I think everybody was pretty cool out there. Even the pizza man, he wasn't being a dick about anything. I was just trying to be funny. I just wanted people to laugh at what I said. So, um, the okay, okay, all right. I'm coming back over. You gotta know how to. I don't know. Do you guys not know how to pass people out here? I'm in the slow lane. I'm doing 10 under the speed limit, and you guys are still just like tailing me. They're like, "Oh, he's gonna get over soon. I'm gonna let him in." I'm like, "Hey, don't let me in. Pass me. Let me. I want to be behind everybody. I want to see where you guys go." Oh shit! Nope, that's not a lane. That's not even a lane. There's a bypass lane. I don't know what the fuck. I don't know what for. The fog. It's in spurts. I don't know. Am I in the Smoky Mountains? I don't think I am. I don't think I am. But if I could be, if you just like blindfolded me and then dropped me off right here, I could be like, I'm in the fucking Smoky Mountains or some shit right now. This is fucking cool. Um, I'm already offloaded, by the way. I had my wife look up my hotel for me, and she did a wonderful job. Hotel, truck parking, pizza nearby, right down the street from where I needed to be. She did a wonderful job. Thank you, babe. She ain't listening. Tell you that right now. She ain't listening. She's like, I don't want to hear you talk when you're at home. Why would I listen to you talk when you're not home? And I got a Minnesota State Trooper. I don't know if it's Minnesota anymore. I don't know where the fuck I'm at. St. Paul. I think I'm in Minnesota. There's a dog. Barks and rice. I don't know what the heck is going on out here. Yeah, got up pretty early for staying in a hotel. Usually I'll sleep in and I'll be like, it's 7:30, time to get up. But no, I left at 7. So, and I was really waiting for the sun to come up. I was like, I'll wait for the sun to come up before I take off, because I'm going to go in another direction that I'm not familiar. I mean, I'm not familiar with anything. Even where I've been, I'm not familiar with. I was like, I'll wait for the sun to come up, maybe burn off a little bit of this fog before I start getting up and going. And then I looked up sunrise, and it's 7:45. I'm like, what the fuck? It's only 8 o'clock right now, and I don't know. It seemed like it was easier to drive when it was darker, because the taillights were even more illuminated when it was dark out. But yeah, and my buddy, I talked to him because he's got some family up in Wisconsin. And I was like, dude, I'm so scared of, like, because the roads weren't dry, but they weren't super wet. But all the bridges I would go over, you could see, like, and there's snow all over the grass out here. But you could see snow, like, on all the bridges, like on the shoulder of the bridge. And I'm like, brother, I don't want to fucking slide out up here. He's like, no, there's no ice up there. I'm like, huh? He's like, no, there's no ice. I'm like, what are you talking about? He's like, there's no ice. When it just snows up there. And then the snow, it doesn't turn to ice. They just do a really good job. They know how to clear the roads real good up there. I'm like, I don't know. I still don't even know if I want to believe him. I'd rather not believe him and be more cautious because I don't know. This looks like I could be driving on black ice. The roads are soaked right now, like because it was raining and it's 40 degrees out. It's it's I think it's warmer in Minnesota than it is in Missouri and Kansas right now. I think it's colder down there. Obviously, they got frozen over ponds and snow on the grass up here. We don't have any of that going on down where I'm at. I I don't know. I was trying to remember the other day, like, did it snow already? Once? Didn't it snow once in Kansas City already? I don't know. I can't tell. I think it did snow once already, but then it quickly melted. But no, it didn't. I don't know. I'm getting shit mixed up with last year. I don't know. Just it would be nice if it would just snow like a normal snow. Give me 6 inches of normal snow, no ice, no blistering cold, just like regular snow. Like I want to go out and build a snowman with my son this weekend. That's the kind of snow I would like to have. But obviously, you don't get to choose. The snow is going to snow how it wants to snow, and you're going to have to deal with it. But yeah, we're rolling. I'm on 10. I'm on the 10, whatever the 10 is in Minnesota, going under Jamaica Avenue. Interesting. And I'm trying to get over to I-35 as quickly as possible. That's what I'm doing. I don't want to fucking dick around with side roads and shit anymore. 45, 55 mile an hour. I want to be doing highway speeds. I want to be on a highway. I want traffic around, not a heavy traffic. I just want enough traffic to like, I'm going to go where you guys are going. That's what I need. But the fog right here actually isn't too bad. But where the fog was really bad was on I-35. It was like I can't see if there was a person standing, I don't know, 50 feet away from my truck. I couldn't see him. It was so foggy. But right now it's pretty good. I got like a half a mile of visibility, which is like normal. I can't see much further past a half mile anyways, but the the day is going well. I got to the place where I needed to offload and I saw lights on. I saw cars in the parking lot, so I was like, "All right, I'm gonna just look to see because they have a bunch of different types of dumpsters and roll-off containers." So I just did a big U-turn around the parking lot. I didn't see any of these, and I called it. It was dumb. I felt embarrassed after I said it, but I walked into the shop. I said, "Hey guys," they said, "What's up?" I said, "I got a couple of your sunroof boxes." They're like, "Sunroof boxes?" I said, "Yep, sunroof boxes." I said, "What the fuck is that?" I was like, "The ones with they got the fucking things that roll off to the side." This fucking box truck, I will fucking beat your ass. I will fucking poke your eyes out, you stupid motherfucker. Like, he was tailgating me really hardcore. It's like, what are you doing, dude? Why are you tailgating me so hard, you fucking bitch? Fucking Minnesota whore is what you are. Just kidding. I talk shit. Let me just phrase this. I will talk shit about anybody in any state. I do that because I think it's funny to just talk shit about people in other states. I'll talk real mad shit about people in Kansas. That's for fucking sure. Kansas is one of my least favorite states of the union. Missouri, I think people know what they're doing in Missouri for the most part, but they're still fucked up. They're still pretty fucked up in Missouri. But I feel like there's gonna be less bullshit in Missouri. Not in Kansas City though. Kansas City, that's one of the worst places on the earth. But like whenever you get on the outskirts and you're just driving through Missouri, like you're like things are okay out here, unless you're on I 35 North and they don't know how to pave the roads. Like, what the hell's going on up there? You all don't know how to pave the fucking roads? Yeah, never mind. I'm going to talk shit on everybody just because I want to keep it fair. So, Minnesota, Wisconsin, actually, I don't even know if I've been to Wisconsin at this point. I have no idea. But if I did go into Wisconsin, it was all right. I didn't see anybody in Wisconsin. I'm in Minnesota now, and I'm having a good time, but the LKQ OEM recycling truck, fuck you. Fuck you, box truck, bitch. You're tailgating the shit out of me. Did not appreciate that. So I did a really nice slow lane change. He's like, "Oh, I can go around him. I can go around him. I can go around. I can go around." And I'm just like slowly changing lanes. Yeah, you can go around me whenever I get out of that lane, okay? And it's going to take me a while. Don't want to make any sudden movements. Hey, there's a park and ride next right. I should fucking do that. I park this thing, I'll ride it. Oh, like, where are we going? Where are we going? And they're like, where do you work? I'm like, I work in that truck back there that I parked to ride with you. I need you to drive me around. 494. That's what I'm getting on next. I'm from 10 to 10, 494, 10 to 494. I'm gonna go to 494 over to 35, and then 30. I think 494 goes all the way. 494. I am a little upset. Like, I wish I could do the rest of these runs because I like this. This is a lot of fun. No matter how much I'm bitching about it, this is what I want to do when I go to work. I want to get in a truck and drive. I don't want to do all the extra bullshit. Am I going west or east? West. I need to get over. I made a mistake. I made a mistake. I need to get over one lane. All right. All right. We're rolling. We're doing a good job. 40-mile-an-hour curve. Okay, let's slow her down. Slow her down. Go under the bridge. This actually reminds me of a Kansas City intersection right here, next to the stadiums a little bit. Never mind. Doesn't look anything like that. We're not doing the right. If I was going that way, it would look like that. All right. Let's get around this corner. Here we go. Woo! We are having a good time. Slow her down again. Slow her down again. I don't know. It's just rains all over everything. It's just raining pretty hardcore right now. Wakota Bridge. Lots of rivers to cross over this way. Some people would say in Kansas City there's a lot of rivers to pass over too. But these rivers look like real rivers. Kansas City rivers look like fucking cesspools. They look gross. The water, this is Canada's piss up here. That's what it is. Is whatever Canada does gets put into the river, but it's not that bad. But once this water gets all the way down to Kansas City, by the time it gets down there, and if you live south of Kansas City, oh God, you don't want to drink that water. That's for sure. You don't want to drink any of this water. But I mean, up here, at least it's like, it looks clean. It's almost blue. Okay, Kansas City, it's brown. It's a brown river water. A lot of bodies floating down that one. Up here, if there are bodies, they're like moose bodies or chipmunks or something. Nothing to, I don't know, a moose. It would be insane if I saw a dead moose. Those things are fucking giant. And if I did see a dead moose, I'd be like, what the fuck killed this? I don't think like a little Ford Escort would kill a moose. I don't know. I don't care how fast it's going. I don't think it'll kill a moose. Might break the legs. That thing is on toothpicks. But the moose could still live a happily long life with no legs. I mean, what is a moose walking around for anyways? They could just stay still. They don't need to go anywhere. Like, what, are you going to walk to another bush? What are you doing, dude? That's one thing that's weird about, like, deer and turtles and shit that cross the road. It's like, where are you going? Why? Why is that? Especially a fucking turtle. It's like, do you even know what the fuck is going on? Turtle? You're in the middle of a road. Like, there's a lot of shit on the other side of the road that you could explore. Why are you crossing the road? Like, oh, this is concrete. This looks cool. Let me just keep walking on concrete. What? No, turn around. Go back to the grass. Don't you want to be in the grass? Or I was like, oh, fuck, I'm in the middle of the road. This is bad. This is real bad. Let me just hide my shell and get ran over. Turtles. The fuck is going on, man? Yeah, I'd like to get over. I don't want to be next to the fucking construction. You fucking Minnesota bitch. You're a dumb bitch. A Volkswagen. And it's got Minnesota tag. I know you're fucking Minnesota. I have 3 blinkers on the side of my truck, and I turn them on because, and obviously there's road work ahead. So they're like, yeah, I don't need to get over. You don't need to get over either. You can drive right past the construction site as close as you want. Dummy. What do I got planned for today? Today, my plan is to drive down. I stopped off at this Quick Mart thing. I don't know what it was. Quick Shop is a nice little truck stop. I didn't get fuel though. No, I did get fuel there, and I parked and I went inside, but I'd already eaten lunch. But they have a lot of food. Like, they have bowls of like spaghetti and Alfredo and burgers, double cheeseburgers, pretzel burgers, hot dogs, all kinds of shit. And I was like, holy moly. And a lady walked up, she's like stocking the shelf or whatever. I'm like, this place is giant. She's like, yep. I'm like, this is fucking cool. I wish I was here for lunch. She's like, well, grab something. I'm like, no, I've already ate lunch. I don't need to eat again. But things seemed reasonably priced and they looked fucking delicious. So I don't know. I marked it on my map So maybe I can go there today, right now. And but I'm gonna get there a little bit early, and I did eat a little bit for breakfast. They had good bacon. It was like they ran out of the cardboard bacon that Holiday Inn makes them buy, so they went down to the local meat market and bought bacon and served that, and that was fucking good bacon. That was amazing bacon. The turkey sausage patties, I skipped that shit, but I did get a veggie omelet and a regular omelet, and I put bacon in the middle of each one. Oh, it was good. It was good, good, good. And I had coffee, but it was still the same shitty coffee, so I put sugar and cream in it just to mask it a little bit, and then I had to chug it. I was like, it's still not good. I chugged the nasty coffee, but I got it chugged, drank down. So now I'm looking for my second cup of coffee. I'm getting close to half a tank, and once that happens, I'm definitely gonna stop. I might stop before that. 35 southeast, 35 east. Okay, this is where I want to go. All right, Albert Lee St. Paul. Turning here. And then I gotta go left to Albert Lee, not St. Paul. So, yep, yeah, my plan is to go to that same truck stop to get lunch today, and then head down to I-80, and then take I-80 all the way over in Omaha from Des Moines. And once I get there, now I know how to drive through the fucking city over there and not be on no truck routes. And then get in there and park the truck. I don't know. I might load it just to get me another extra hour or so. I might go ahead and strap down some containers and get it loaded up. But part of me, our company has done a lot of work to this trailer, both of our roll off trailers. And I don't know. I'm thinking the best thing would probably be to leave it unloaded, so whoever's going to run it will load it and get a better idea on how it works, because I don't know if they are very familiar with double rails. And I really would like to have the driver be there so I can kind of walk him through some of the things. And he might get a little offended by it, but hey, listen, these are our trailers, and you would think that people at our shop know how to run them. They don't. So even if you think you know how to run it, let me just run you through some things. The hook, whenever you're done and you're wrapping it up, don't tighten the piss out of it. You're pulling on it's hooked at the edge of the trailer, and you're pulling on itself. Don't do that, and don't drape it over the side. It'll cut the cable. We already had to redo the cable after we just put the cable on there because somebody thought it would be cool to drape it over the side and tighten it the fuck down, and it just sliced probably an eighth of an inch into the fucking cable. It's not good. Like, now that cable is not safe to use at all, especially if you have a loaded dumpster on there. What are you doing? What are you doing? Why are you passing on the right? Why are you passing on the right, you fucking whore? then what else? I'd like to show them how it operates, just so they'll be aware of how it operates. Make sure they know what the fuck is going on. But I don't know. This is the simplest of the simples with the double rail, because you're picking it up from a nice flat parking lot. They're empty, and then you're dropping them off in a nice flat lot, empty also, and like they'll just roll off nice and good. So yeah, that's my plan is to get some lunch, get some fuel, drive drive back down to Kansas City with a pickup truck. I don't know what pickup truck they're going to give me to drive down there, and then all I got to do is hope and pray that they're going to let me drive a pickup truck back up there to pick up the double rail. But I bet you they'll drive the double rail down to Kansas City and then pick up their pickup truck and head on back. You know, what'd be cool is if they're like, yeah, that '60s dump truck, you can just take that back down south with you. I thought, oh hell yeah, that's a rough riding son of a bitch right there. 8.4 miles. Says I'll be getting on 46. Why? Why? Oh, all right. That's not the exact right tag, but it says I'll be there right around 11:15. Is when I'll be pulling into my lunch stop, and I got plenty of fuel to get down there. So, well, at least I think so. 2.5 hours, half a tank. I had to, in order for my GPS to do what I wanted it to do, I had to mark just a random spot along I-35 to get over there, because if I just put where I wanted to go, it was going to take me through the fucking crazy back roads. I did not want to do that. And now we're driving, so I think I'm going to come back to do the rest of the pod. Probably, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know when. We're in Omaha now. I'm driving an F-250. It's our older F-250. You know what? I think I might need to get out and check to make sure this hood is latched. I don't know. I can see it just bouncing around a little bit. The drive went good. Weren't too many annoying people on the highway, which was great. Man, coming down here. So there's a guy down here. He runs the shop. He's a great guy. I like him. I think he's a cool dude. He does have a lazy eye. There's nothing you can do about that. He's got it. It's there. There ain't nothing you can do about it. But it takes so long to figure out which one you're supposed to look at. And then whenever you look at the one that you're supposed to look at, you're like, he knows that I know that he's looking at me, that I know that he knows which eye. I keep looking over at his other eye, and it's like, brother, it's so annoying. I just look away. I just look down or into the distance. I just look into the distance when I talk to him because I don't know where to look. He's got a lazy eye. What am I supposed to do? But he's a good guy. He's he's a very literal man. And he's a no bullshit type of guy. So I don't know. He does not. He'll make jokes and stuff with it all day. He'll do that all day long. But he said he's fired a guy. A guy just got hired on. Well, this was a while back, but a guy just got hired on. He just completed his full week of training, and then uh, full week of training inside the classroom, like not in the classroom, but inside the office, doing all the fucking bullshit. And he said, "All right, it's your first day tomorrow, doing real stuff. Yeah, just come in at." I think he wanted him to come in at like 5 or 6 in the morning, something like that, which is not crazy to ask somebody to do. But he said he waited until at 5 a.m. he left, like the boss man that was running the crew. He left, and the kid called him. He's like, "Hey, I'm here." He's like, "Where are you?" He's like, "I'm at the shop." He's like, "You missed the boat, bud. You're fired." And he's like, "What?" So this poor guy. I mean, it's funny, but it's also like, damn, dude, come on, give him a. It's his first day. He said, "I ain't got time for your bullshit. Nope, if you ain't here, you ain't here." And he fired him. So yeah, I don't know. Was he in a good mood that day? Was he in a bad mood? Not sure. But whichever mood it was, I don't want to be around him if he's in that type of a mood. Um, but I guess that's a guy that you want running your office. But I don't know. Everybody else seems pretty lenient and helpful and nice, but not up in Omaha. He ain't lenient at all. Like you're either here working or you're fired. And I don't know. It was like he showed up at 5, but you left at 5. So I don't know. Feel bad for that guy, but that's the way she goes, I guess, for your life. And that was so months. Well, not months. I'd say over a year ago. So I'm sure they figured out what they're going to do with their life now. But I don't know. Because he was telling me about it, and he's like, "Yeah, I mean, if I tell you to be here, and when I say it to be here, you ain't gonna be no minute late, nothing." I was like, "Oh, well, I'm so glad I work for Kansas City because I am late all the fucking time. I'd have been fired a long fucking time ago if I was working under your thumb." So, I mean, I guess do what you got to do. But damn, dude, I'd have been out of here. And he likes me, so I don't know. But since I don't know, maybe that was like, if it was my very first day of work, yeah, I would do everything in my fucking power to make sure I am there early, on time, ready to go. And I guess that guy just didn't, and he didn't. He was like, "You're not going to be a good worker. You're out of here." But yep, driving the old F-250. It's an older model. Um, Before they were aluminums. This is a steel-bodied one, and it's got the service bed on it also, so that's even more different. But it's an old. I mean, it's not a bad truck. how many miles are on this? I don't even know how to work the steering wheel. 228,000. So it's been around for a while. What is beeping at me? Oh, I'm doing 10 over, I guess. The speedometer is off by 5 miles an hour. It says I'm doing 65, but on my GPS it says I'm doing 58. So it's off quite a bit. Which really sucks because these trucks, they go off of what the truck says it's doing. So whenever the truck is actually doing 70 miles an hour, which is going to be my route, I'm actually going to be doing like 63 miles an hour. That is not good because speed limit's like, I think 75, at least 70s. No, I don't know if it goes to 75 at all, but it's 70, so I can do 75 and probably be good. It is cool being in a pickup because I ain't gonna have to stop them scales. If I had a trailer on, I'd stop, but I ain't got no trailer. That tire is really, there's a tire up against the headache rack. Makes it really hard to see back there, but whatever. It'd be alright. Yeah, the drive went great. I did get to go to that one truck stop, quick stop, whatever it's called. And it wasn't as good as I was hoping it would be, but it wasn't bad. It was still good. I mean, you get burgers that are wrapped in like a foil paper and under heat lamps can only be so good, I think. You know, it's better if they like are wrapped in real foil right after coming off the grill or whatever. Those ones are okay. But this one is under the paper. It's been sitting out for a little bit. So it wasn't the best thing in the world, but I did really like that place. And I just don't want to give you guys an expectation that that was the best burger I've ever had in my life. It wasn't. But they did have like a little onion thing, pickles, lettuce, tomato, little sauce dispenser. Like, it was pretty cool that they had like a whole making station there. Because most gas stations and truck stops, like, they'll have that, but it's like that's for like the hot dogs that have been on the roller since 7 a.m. Like, yeah, there's some nasty shit, but there was like a lady that came out in an apron, and her entire job was just to make sure that all the food was good out there. And I got a fish sandwich and I got jalapeno poppers. And I'll tell you what, the jalapeno poppers made up for any misstep they ever took, because those jalapeno poppers were fucking delicious. They were really, really, really good. And they had a place to eat on the inside. It was nice. So did that. I did get fuel there and parked up, and then I just got up back on the road. I've been listening to some podcasts right now. I'm in the middle of Theo Vaughn talking to the founder of Craigslist. And this dude has brought up some shit that it makes sense. He's a super nerd. He's kind of hard to listen to, but he was talking about, he's like the creator of Craigslist. I'll just give you a quick little rundown. I'm not going to ruin anything for you, I don't think. But it started out as like a San Francisco email chain. Like, he would email people with like events and stuff. And it would be like multiple times a day he would just send out emails about like, hey, this guy's coming to town. This is happening. This is happening. Whatever it is, and then it just turned into like an actual website and everything. But now he's into cybersecurity, which is pretty fucking cool. This truck is definitely burning something. I just smell burntness coming from this truck. Let me set the cruise. Doesn't tell you what you're set at, which is kind of annoying. Yeah, I'm doing 75, but I'm actually doing 60, 68. He's into cybersecurity. He's like, hey, listen, like cybersecurity is more than just like phishing emails and stuff like that, like that will like, steal your data and everything. It's more about like, he's like, just imagine everybody has an oven, like a new Samsung oven or something like that. Yeah, he didn't name Samsung, obviously. That's me doing that. But I'm just like new appliances that all run off of Wi-Fi, and it's for like customer support for like diagnostics, like they can look it up, and it's all connected to the internet. Well, and he said that theoretically, if there was a nation that wanted to hack in, like was able to hack into that network, they could turn on your oven. And this is a worst case scenario, obviously, but they could hack into your oven and make it turn on, bypass, how hot it can get, and make it get as hot as it could possibly get, and just stay on, and like turn it to where you're gonna have to unplug that motherfucker to get it to turn off. But are you gonna be able to, think of an oven? You gonna yank that out of your, like my oven? I haven't moved my oven. I did move my oven once. It was a big deal. My wife, I think she made cookies, for after I got the oven moved. It was like a big event in the house. Like, hey, Daddy's gonna move the oven today. It's like, really? And yeah, I moved the oven out and swept out all the shit from underneath it, from probably the people that lived in my house before me, and then I put it back. You know, so just think if your oven is turned on to 1200 degrees or whatever it could possibly get to, and you can't, you're hitting the button to turn it off and it won't turn off, and it starts melting itself, and you're like, oh fuck, are you gonna yank that? I mean, I would, but is a little old lady next door not? And she can't do that. And yeah, that's a singular issue, but think if a neighborhood of 120 houses, and let's say 10 people have these ovens, and this hack happens all at the same time. Is the fire department going to be able to go and put out 10 fires at the same exact time and just scale that up to a city? Also, military equipment, like drone technology, which is kind of crazy because there's all these drones going on in Chicago, and I don't know if they're still going on or not, but they were going on, that's for sure. And, or like missile defense system, like it's crazy. All the stuff you got connected to the internet, which, does the military use a different internet, or does like the military, how does, because obviously you know that the cloud is not a real thing. You're not sending signals all the way up into the clouds to a satellite. Maybe with Starlink you are, but for like normal day-to-day stuff, there are lines, electrical lines and fiber optics and stuff that go underneath the ocean, that are just out in the ocean, that connect countries. There's like hundreds of thousands of, not millions of miles of fucking fiber optics laid under the ocean that connect to cell towers. So there's obviously, yeah, you're wireless. Your phone is obviously wireless, but it's a lot of wired stuff. And does the military use their own type of shit, or does their shit go in the same tube as ours? It's just encrypted and stuff. You know, like, I don't know. And where is the internet? That, you got to think about that. Where the fuck is the internet? It's like server farms, like big. I don't know. I don't even know. But anyways, so if the military has, like, this is just a small example. A military sends out a drone, and that drone is supposed to collect imaging or some sort of sensing data, and then send it back to us. But if somebody's able to hack even just a part of that drone, they could either fuck with the operation of it so it doesn't fly, or it flies for them, or instead of it sending the data this way, it sends the data the other way, or it just changes the data from, like, all right, yep, this is where you need to be shooting the missile, and then instead of the missile shooting to where they want it to go, it shoots back at you. And it's like, oh shit, that's friendly fire. But is it friendly? I don't know. Not very friendly to me. So I don't know. It's just a bunch of fucking. There's so many different scenarios. He was talking. He was like, really, one thing that really bothers him is like the rural water districts, rural power stations, and stuff like that. You know, they can have it set to where it, you know, they can shut the water off, because most of these big corporations and stuff, especially since I know a little bit about it because we work at water plants quite often. Not that I know, I'm just cleaning the fucking shit off the floor. So I don't know a whole lot, but I'm inside. I don't know how many people actually see where their water exactly comes from. Like, whenever you turn the water on at your tap, you think, oh, it comes from that water tower over there. Okay, well, there's a whole lot of shit that goes on before the water gets in the water tower, you know. So, and there's a lot of, like, pipes and valves and chemicals and stages that the water has to go through. And if somebody can hack into it, especially like a rural area, fuck up their water, either turn up I don't know how it all works, but they could get it to where it would disable the operation. And then you're like, okay, now people have to go to the creeks to get their fucking water because they're and they live out in the middle of nowhere. Now there's no water. I mean, hopefully you have a well system if you're that rural, but electricity and stuff. I mean, I don't know. I'm not too worried about the rural people. The people that live rurally. That's a word. They know probably how to handle themselves. They live off of well water, propane, and I don't know. They're like, yeah, electricity's nice, but we have a whole pile of wood over there we could burn. But imagine this in a city, though. In a city, you know, the water gets fucked up, and that disables a lot of fucking people. Obviously, there's a lot more people out there that can, you know, they can try to get it fixed or put back to use or whatever. But electricity and stuff, like, man, yeah, there's a lot of lines going everywhere, but man, where does the electricity? If you cut the head off that snake of electricity, you're fucked, dude. Like, you're gonna have people panicking and going fucking nuts that they can't post on Facebook and shit. Even just taking out some cell towers is fucking crazy. Cause I have a cell tower near my house, and what's great, I mean, I have Google Fiber. It should be pretty fucking good. But sometimes I gotta turn off the Wi-Fi because my shit won't load. You know, It's like the cell tower might be better. But the guy, he was bringing up so many other things. He's like, electric cars are out here, and it's just a computer with wheels. It's just a computer system, basically, that you have to make that thing work. You know, a rudimentary vehicle like my 79 or even this truck right here, like, yeah, this has a computer. My 79 definitely does not have a computer, but this has a computer, but this doesn't like receive or send data unless you plug into the OBD2 port. But a lot of the new cars that are coming out, like I had a guy at work, he's like, yeah, my truck is all fucked up and I had to do an update for my truck to work right or something like that. It's way too far out of my fucking league, but he's like, yeah, my truck has to update and I can't drive until it's done updating. I'm like, what the fuck, dude? Like, your truck can be disabled because of an update? Like, what if somebody like, there's so much that goes into that. And then you got these self-driving cars, which is cool. Yeah, it's fucking cool. Like, I like RC cars, self-driving cars, just like more, it's like reading your mind on where you want to go. But, dude, if it's got a mechanism that turns the steering wheel, hits the throttle, and hits the brakes, runs the lights, runs the locks, runs the doors, runs everything about it, regulates the batteries. Those batteries, it can are very volatile. Volatile's a big word. Those batteries are real delicate, is what I could say. And I'm sure there's a computer system in there, like especially like with fast chargers and stuff. There's something in there that keeps the batteries, because I've heard a lot about like the lipo batteries or whatever, which I'm pretty sure that's like, I don't know. I'm pretty sure that's the type of battery that, or like Elon was saying, whenever you charge your Tesla, just charge it up to 80% and then drive it, because the charging time from 0 to 80 is faster than 80 to 100, which is kind of insane, but it's because all these electrons or whatever little molecule thingamajiggies, they all have to find a spot to go in the battery. And whenever every like he said, think of a parking lot at Walmart. There's no cars in the parking lot, but they're flooding in. Everybody can find a spot pretty easy, but the last 20% of the cars are driving up and down the aisles looking for a spot that it's going to open up. So that's why it fills up to 80 pretty quickly, and then it kind of falls off. But, there's only 100 spots. But, if you're charging your car and you're trying to put 2,000 cars into 100 parking spots, that's going to overload the fucking parking lot. As using the parking lot as an analogy for the battery. And the battery could explode, have issues. You've seen like cell phones fire off in people's pockets, or like cheap vapes, or the little rolly boards or whatever. And these are charged. I would imagine most people that have a Tesla have a garage, and that garage is probably attached to your house. And when you have your Tesla in your garage, you're probably charging the motherfucker. That's probably the first thing you do when you get to your house, is pull the charger plug it into your car, and then go inside your house. It's like, whoa, that's a giant battery. They could, I think they're made well, but it's like, I don't want that in my house. Like, I'm already worried enough, like, whenever I'm charging my RC car with a tiny little fucking battery. I'm like, this thing could spontaneously combust. You can't turn it off, and putting water on it just makes it worse. And will not put it out. So lipo bags are an actual thing. It's a bag that you can stick your batteries in while they're charging. So if they do spontaneously combust, and shoot flames out, it's in a fireproof bag. Is what it is. So I don't know, but man, technology is. I mean, I've felt this way for a long time, but I don't know. Now that somebody recently talked about it to me, through a podcast, it brought it back up, and it's also kind of interesting to think about. Now, I live my life quarter mile at a time. Just kidding, I don't. My life, like what I go through, like if I get a phishing email, it's sent from my company. Like they're just testing us. So I haven't ever had really too many issues like that. I did have a buddy. It was like a stolen identity thing, but it was like, I don't know, kids just found somebody's number and called them up and said, "Grandma, I need money," and sent money. Grandma sent money through gift cards to somebody because they thought, it's like, whoa, that's not as that's rudimentary. There's another big word. But I mean, I'm just saying these are all theoretical. These are things that could happen in the movies and everything. And people get complacent. That's another big word. And you just think everything's going to be fine. Oh, yeah, that happens in movies, but it never happened to me. And it's like, okay, well, whenever if it does happen to you, and it is on that scale, like that's why I don't know, it's real important. And I don't know, like I, I'm not happy. Like my credit cards and stuff, like anything I have that's all the information's held electronically, it's all under a fingerprint and two-factor authentication and like shit like that. Which, I mean, yes, it could be hacked, but is the hacker going to go after the guy that's got it, under two locks, or are they just going to go after the people that just have it kind of freely on their phone? Which I wouldn't say my wife has it freely on her phone, but it's like she's like, I don't even know the passwords. I just have them all say. I'm like, babe. And it's like, I don't know how much of our information is just floating out there, but there's a lot of companies these days. Like even my Life 360 app, they're like, hey, come over here and fucking. I mean, that's for just fucking tracking me completely. I hope Life 360 is a good company and it has good security. But do you remember, it was like at the beginning of this year, I think, or something like that, where there was like the biggest credit card information breakthrough or whatever. Like some like hackers now have like every single American's credit card information or like personal info and socials and shit. Like, shit's out there, man. Gotta be careful. Yeah, I mean, I was hacked on Facebook by a fucking little piece of shit kid. Okay, I'm allowed to say that. I don't know how old they are, but they could. I mean, it could have been a man, could have been a girl, could have been a range of. It could have been a dog. Very unlikely that a dog knows how to use Facebook, but I mean, I have no information telling me it wasn't a dog. I just have information saying that I was hacked, and there was nothing I could like. It was they just knew a little bit more than I did, and I didn't know what to do. So now, like, I don't know. I think I'm pretty good. I got most of my shit under like two-factor, fingerprint, special code, whatever the fuck. Um, and also my name isn't. It's all like a fake name on most of my shit, or somebody else's name. I just have it kind of blocked out. So, and I like it that way. Even on here, my name is Kletus. Okay? Do you think my real name's Kletus? No, I feel like a Kletus. Some people feel like a woman when they're a boy. Some people feel like they're old when they're young. I feel like a Kletus most of the time. I'm allowed to be in that. I'm in the LGBTQ, and now there's a K. We added a K to it. And if there was already a K in there, we added a second K. Okay? I'm a LGBTK. We're gonna actually start it off with a K. KLGB. We're gonna rearrange those fucking letters. First off, who does the gays and the lesbos really want to be in there? I don't think so. I think they're like, that's fucking all the other shit y'all added on here is fucking crazy. Let me just be gay. Let me just be a lesbo. I see them on Pornhub. They're on there. They don't. They seem like they know what they want, and all this other crazy shit. I don't know, but I'm a K now. I'm a K there. I'm a KLG. Let's add in the B's too. KLGBT B KLGB. Cletus, lesbians, gays, and bisexuals. We could all be in this. We're starting our own movement. Just kidding. I don't know who we are. It's just me. I'm just trying to be funny on a podcast. But I feel like a Cletus today, so I'm going to be a Cletus today. And almost every single day I feel like a Cletus, unless I'm like a little bit sick or I stub my toe. I am not a Cletus when I stub my toe. I'm more of a Ronnie, probably. Fuck! I don't know. I guess I could probably be a Cletus too. I don't know. I'm probably Cletus most of the time. I am a Kevin for sure whenever I get pulled over. If I get pulled over, I'm a Kevin. It's like, just nice guy. Please don't give me a ticket. I'm going to bitch about you and talk shit about you on my podcast if you give me a ticket, you fuck. But if you don't give me a ticket, then I'll be, hey man, these guys are actually all right. They're just out here. They're just one of us. God didn't even give me a ticket. But you give me a ticket. I'm like, hey, listen. Oh, okay. There's a lot of people that deserve tickets out here. I'm not one of them. Okay, I'm a good guy. Okay, like stop. Well, you're gonna really give me a ticket for going 5 mile an hour over? This is all theoretical because I haven't gotten a speeding ticket. I did get a speeding ticket. I was doing 70 and what I thought was a 65. They changed it to a 60. So I was doing 70 in a 60. But that was because I crossed. They had just changed. It was in Lee Summit. I grew up in Lee Summit. So I know what the speed limits are out there. And they changed it to a 60. It was right when they turned 50 highway to a 60 mile an hour zone. And it used to be a 65. And you could do 70 and you could drive by the cop and flip him off. And he'd be like, he's going only 5 over. He's fine. But I was doing 10 over and he fucking popped me. What a fucking bitch that was years ago. I think we're a little going off a topic. What was the topic? The topic was cybersecurity. Then we got into stolen identity, and then now I'm bitching about the police. Okay. Let's see. Cyber security. Whose drones are these? Okay. Let's figure out who the fuck's drones these are. How the hell do we not know? What the fuck is going on? If you trust your government, go ask. Okay, anybody. You don't even have to trust the government. Just go over there and just say, hey, guys, like, we pay you guys a fuckload of taxes. What the fuck are those things flying over my house? They're like, probably a plane. A plane is doing zippity doo-dahs. 50 planes are doing zippity doo-dahs over my fucking neighborhood. And those are planes. Like, probably. What do you mean, probably? Planes have a strict protocol. Tell me what planes those are. And who's flying the plane then? Like, we don't know. It's like, you don't know. Okay. Are they American planes? Probably. They're like, actually, they might not be American. Okay. Or we're being invaded? No, we're not being invaded. What the fuck is going on? They're like, it might be a nuke. What the fuck are you talking about? It might be a nuke. They're sniffing for nukes. They're drones now. There's nukes. We went from not knowing what the fuck they're at. Now it's a nuke sniffing drone. So there's a nuke nearby. Should I leave? Like, no, it's probably fine. What the fuck are you talking about? Fuck you guys. Like, why am I paying you taxes? Why do I have to have this fucking tag on the back of my car that tells you everything? And they ain't got no tags on them. The fuck? What are you doing? Yeah, the I don't know. It's fucking crazy, is what it is. It makes you. Whenever I was growing up, anybody that was, I don't know, if you said you were 30 years old, you were an adult. You were like, you had gray hair, a 401k, owned a business. If you were 30 years old, you were a fucking man that knew everything about anything. Am I just getting older, or was I wrong? Or are things getting worse? I don't know. I feel like was it always this way? Was this my dad when he was growing up and he became, well, what am I now? I'm 34. Whenever my dad became 34 years old, was he like, holy shit? No, my dad like seemed like he knew everything, and I try to do that with my kids. I try to like always have an answer, know what the fuck's going on if they ever ask, or and I think I do a pretty good job of that. But what the fuck is going on? There are drones just flying around. There's people hacking our fucking electricity and shit. The crazy thing that I heard is that like these organizations of criminals that will like call up or like steal all the data from a school district. You would think that they're going to give everybody an A, like change it in the computer to give everybody an A. They don't do that. What they do is they take all the data and they say, pay us or I'll delete it. And the school district, or this happens to a lot of different companies and stuff all the fucking time. Like their data gets taken, or they have this whatever hacking group gets control of it, and they say, give us this money or we're going to delete it. And most of the time, from whenever I heard about this, most of the time the company will just pay it. They will pay the ransom because the people that are doing they know that, like, if it's a credit card company and it's like, hey, we have all of your data, we will delete it or fuck it all up unless you pay us money. They'll just pay the money because they can, like banking systems and credit card systems. They if you have a credit card and then the company comes out and says, hey, listen, we were hacked and all of your data is in the hands of these hackers. You're like, holy shit, cancel. I'm out of here. I'm not doing business with you ever again. Holy shit. And that happens to a lot of other companies too. You know, it's like you trust that that company is going to do a good job. And if they come out and they tell you that, hey, our shit was hacked, we have to pay this ransom, you're like, What the fuck? Okay, well, I'm not going to use you anymore. So the public trust of a company, especially banking companies, it needs to be pretty high, or else people are going to go to a different bank. And but it happens with like school districts, police departments, fire departments, regular old companies. It happens all the time, and what people are told to do is just to pay the ransom, so you're not going to lose trust from your consumers. And most of the time, when you pay the ransom, though, they will give it back. But it's like, all right, so who's in control here? Apparently, it happens a lot. Fucking crazy, dude. I'm passing by a Sap Brothers. How many times has Sap Brothers paid off fucking company? Like, because think about Sap. You just, yeah, it's funny. Yeah, it's Sap Brothers. I'm just driving by. How many companies use a Sap Brothers fuel card, have so many cards being used to get fuel? Like, it could be anything, guys. Now, if it's a candle shop, it's like, hey, we were hacked. Now they know our secret ingredient for the marshmallow fireside. Like, oh fuck, we can't let that out. Pay the hackers. What? But I don't know. I mean, I don't really know. It's just kind of a. I told you things were gonna get crazy. I told you. I told you on just November 5th, the election day. I said things are gonna get fucking crazy, and the drones are pretty crazy. I don't know. I don't know if there's a lot more going on crazy, but I think something. There's definitely. Well, the Biden shit. He fucking freed. I don't know. I'm just repeating shit that I've heard from people that I trust, and I'm trusting that they're correct. And I don't know a lot of information other than what they said, and I don't even really know what they said because I don't recall very well. But Biden apparently released, or not released, but pardoned, which I guess is released, and preemptive pardoned people, more people than like any president ever, except for one president. Can't remember which one. And in that, like, if they were all like good people that needed to be like, all right, but apparently some of them are like child predators. Even just one of them being a child predator, like you're in jail for child predator charges. The evidence is pretty clear it was you. Like, we don't think we made a mistake putting you in prison. And your president just said, yeah, let him out. Let him out. What the fuck are you talking about? Some lady was just burned alive on the fucking subway in New York. Whoa. By an illegal alien that Trump deported and Biden let back in. What the fuck is going on? And that was right after. Is it a movie? This is a movie. The mayor or who a lady in charge of some shit in New York gave a press conference or news thing in the subway. Say the subway's safe. Come to the subway. Use the subway. And I guess there was like 9 before the end of the day. There was like 9 stabbings and a person was burned alive, all on the subway. After this lady came out and said it's safe to use the subway. What the fuck? It was a homeless lady, allegedly, that was burned alive. But it's like, what the fuck is going on? I mean, it doesn't surprise me in New York. I don't want it to happen, obviously, but it is not surprising that people are killing people in New York. Same with Kansas City. I mean, that's where I make my money, is in Kansas City. That's where I don't live in Kansas City, but I work in Kansas City quite often. Like most of the time, I'm going to Kansas City almost every single day, and people are murdered. You don't hear about it because it's just like, yeah, people were murdered. Whatever. People are murdered in Kansas City every day, and I'm just driving by on the highway late to work all the time. I'm just driving through, like somebody was murdered here last night, and I'm trying to think. I know of one person that was murdered, and it was my wife's somebody on my wife's side of the family. It was a dude and his cousin that were getting it on, and it's not her friend. Her husband left her for his cousin. Holy shit. This was a different dude that was dating his cousin, my wife's cousins or something. And the cousin wanted to quit fucking the other cousin, so the one cousin was homeless now, and then he was found murdered outside somewhere. And I was like, oh shit, are they doing an investigation? She said, not really. I'm like, oh, okay. So how many times, like, that's firsthand, not firsthand, but pretty close to firsthand. It's like 1.5 firsthand. That's happened to me with somebody that I knew. I shook their hand. I talked to them. I said, quit fucking your cousin. I didn't do that, but I thought it while he was around. That's a person I knew physically, and they were murdered. And the cops are like, yeah, he was murdered. And they're like, so now what? And they're like, we have 18 other murders in the last hour that we're gonna look at. I'm like, are you gonna get? I didn't say this, and obviously this was a while back, but it's like, how many murderers are out there right now? How many times are you catching a murderer? What evidence do you have from the murder of my wife's cousin? They're like, we scraped the body off of the floor and we took it to the morgue, and if you want the ashes, they're there. Like, okay. They're like, so what's going on with the murder? And they're like, he was murdered. Like, okay, I understand he was murdered. Are you doing anything to catch the guy that did it? They're like, there's other murders, and he was murdered also. So it's just like that's I mean, and looking at it from their perspective, it's like, yeah, people are getting murdered all the time, but it's not like a serial killer. It's just like a bunch of people murdering each other, and eventually the person that murdered that guy is gonna get murdered. Like, okay, I guess that's a win. That's probably a win. Don't know. Uh, I didn't even know the guy was homeless. I didn't know anything about it. She's like, what's his name was murdered. They found him dead. It's like, oh shit. I'm trying to think of anybody else that might have been murdered. The guy I went to high school with got hit by a car. Another guy got hit by a tire driving down the highway. There's a handful of them that have overdosed on drugs. What else? Couple of suicides. Illnesses. Old age. I mean, just, I don't know, pretty much any which way a person can be not alive.
that's I know somebody. Maybe I probably met somebody that's been dead that way. It's crazy. I'm just, if you could find out how you would die, would you want to know? It's like, okay, you are going to be 350 pounds and die of a heart attack. Like, I just need to make sure I don't get 350 pounds. But if you know how you die, like, are you able to avoid it? It's like, oh, that's how I die? Well, if I'm 345 pounds, I know I'm getting close. I don't know. I don't know. Would you want, if you could find out how, when, or where? Ooh, I don't know. I don't know. Because when, how, when, or where? I don't know. I don't want really. I'm just gonna get surprised. I'll. Whenever they say, "All right, who wants a surprise death?" That's me. I'm raising my hand. Surprise me. I don't want to know exactly how it's gonna happen. Like right now, I have a little bit of a headache, and I'm like, "Is that an aneurysm? Am I even awake right now?" That happens all the time. That whenever I think about that all the fucking time. Am I awake right now? It's like, am I awake? And I don't know. You pinch yourself, but you're like, I think I could. Pretty sure I could feel a pinch I'm pretty sure I've felt something whenever I am asleep. So I don't know if that works. But I've been knocked out a lot, and when you get knocked out, you don't even realize you're. I've talked about this before, but it happens all like uh, the one time that I can give an example is I was sitting on my couch growing up. Well, I was like 14, 15, something like that. I was sitting on the couch in the living room at my house. My parents were still together. Everything was happy. Lord, everything was good. And I was sitting on the couch and I was like, watched a TV show and I was thirsty. So I stood up for some reason. I've been a wild person for a long time. I just jumped up as fast as I could and I ran into the kitchen. It wasn't because I was that thirsty. It was just I do sporadic things. I might have some sort of a disability. So I just jump up randomly and run in the kitchen. There's nobody around. Well, there were people around, but they weren't immediately nearby. And I run to the kitchen and I go and I grab a cup out of the cabinet. And then all of a sudden, like all my vision starts to fade out. And this happened a lot. I'm not gonna lie, it happened a lot growing up. And so I put my hands on the counter because I knew every time this would happen, like I would lose my vision, I would lose my hearing, and I would just have to hold on to something. Eventually, I'd lose my feeling, but it would go away pretty quick. Like I don't know, it was like low blood sugar or something. I don't know what it was, but I would just have to hold on to something, stop everything, hold on to something, and then eventually my vision and hearing and everything would come back, and I could go on my day completely normal. That didn't happen this time. I I do that. I hold onto the counter, but then I open my eyes and I'm like laying on the floor, and my dad's like, "Are you okay?" I'm like, yeah. What's going on?" Like, because whenever that happens, you whenever you get knocked out, everything the day before I can remember, but it all feels like it was a dream. It feels like deja vu. So I was like, what the fuck is going on? Like, where am I? Like, what's going was everything a dream or was that real? And that, I've never been knocked out for a very long time. I've only been, it's always been like a second or two. I can think of 3 times that I've been. 2 of them I was being choked. One of them was just like a natural knockout type thing, and I fell down. When I fell down, I fell on my brother, old Kenny, and my dad was on top. He like Kenny was crying because I fell on top of him. I was a smaller guy back then, but yeah, it's just like sometimes when you get knocked out, you don't like everything feels like a dream. So, and you don't realize you get knocked out until you wake back up, right? So I don't know, and I don't. Yeah, I've only been knocked out for a few seconds at a time, if not a second. But what if it was longer? You have no knowledge of the passage of time. Getting a little weird here. You have no knowledge of the passage of time. So, like, say I got up to grab the cup, I feel that, I put my hands on the counter, I wake up 17 years later. It's like, whoa, what's going on? Like, oh, well, you fucking passed out and you've been in a coma for 17 years. I'm like, holy shit. And anyways, this is where I've gotten into the debate. I haven't really been in a debate with anybody. I've just been in a debate with myself, I guess. But that's what I think could be death. Could be. Not saying it is. I'm just saying I have more evidence for that being death than magical things in the sky. It's instead of waking up again, it's just over for you. But also, if you want to get into a crazy thing, think about this world is yours. It kind of makes you appreciate some things because it's like, all right, this world is only what I make it in my mind. Like, I don't know. I had a dream that I murdered people. I was a murderer. That was weird. It's like, I would never fucking do that. But I had no control over this dream. It was just a dream that I was going around and I shot people with a freaking, I don't know, rubber band, and they would disappear. I'm kind of lightening it up a little bit. It was not a rubber band. But I had no control over it. I was like, what the fuck? I woke up. I was like, holy shit, what did I do? Please tell me that was a dream and not real life. And it was. And I haven't ever had that again, but it's just like, whoa, this, I don't know. This light, I am on a bumpy ass road now. The dream, can't even talk now. The dream, anyways, this is my life. Whenever it's over for me, I don't know if this was a simulation, if this was a video game, and I was CJ in Grand Theft Auto San Andreas, and you turn the game off, it's all gone, dude. You never turn the game back on. It's all gone. There's no save file. So I don't know. I'm getting a little deep here, but it just, I don't know. I think it's fun mind exercises to just open your mind up and just theoretically think of things. I don't think anybody knows exactly what's going to happen when you're done here. If that's even real. I could wake up. I could wake up into the Matrix. Or not wake up into the Matrix, wake up into whatever the fuck the guy that was in the Matrix woke up in in that, like, the wormhole or whatever the fuck it was. You wake up and there's a thing on the back of your head. You're like, holy shit, I was in the Matrix. And in the Matrix, I was a truck driver. I had a podcast. I had 2 kids. I had a wife. I had two trucks. I worked so hard to get those 2 trucks. And now you're telling me that was all fake? Motherfucker. I mean, just kidding. The trucks are not important as they probably sound on the podcast. They're just my hobby. My family is the most important thing. And I believe that if some crazy shit happened, I could take care of my family. Uh, but you think about that, and I don't know. I've heard people talk about that too. They're like, I got a gun. I just want to protect my family. Like people on a podcast, and I'm not trying to make fun of them, but they're like, I need to be there so I can protect my family. It's like, you're on a podcast right now. Where is your family? How do you know they're not in trouble right now? And I don't know. It's people talk tough a lot, and yeah, I'd like to protect my family. I am in Iowa. I'm not in Iowa now. I'm in Missouri now. But if something's happened to my family, the only thing I can do is put the throttle down a little further to try to get there quicker. Um, this road is not good. It's good in spots, but it's not good in this spot. It is just a vibration. I feel like I'm in my hotel bed again, and I'm like, am I okay? Am I shaking, or is the truck shaking? I think it's both. There we go. Now we're on new paved area. I don't know. I think this podcast is for me to express my thoughts, and I'm just expressing my thoughts here. Please don't be upset. Please don't take me literally. I'm just over here just exploring my mind. Um, so anyways, I got an hour and 40 minutes until I'm at the shop. I'm going to park this thing. I'll fuel it up. Maybe. Maybe not. Pickup trucks don't usually get filled up all the time. Big trucks, people get pissed off if you have that and it ain't fueled up. This thing, I don't know. I'll probably fill it up. It's got 2 tanks on it, which is it's like, why do we got 2 tanks on this fucking truck? But I'll fuel it up, park it, get in my car, get the fuck out of there, go home. Before I go home, I need to stop at my chew store and get some new chew. I'm on my last can right now. And then go home and see the kids. My job got canceled for tomorrow morning. So I will not be working tomorrow on Saturday, which is not it's not good. But I'm excited to not have to work. You know, I'm excited to be able to go home. I might since I did play a little bit of video games, but not many video games. I played for like an hour, which is not enough time for anything on any of my video games. But I did play for like an hour, but that's all I've played. And so I guess I am kind of excited that possibly tonight, after some things go down, I can go down to the basement, turn it on, and play as long as I can stay awake. And then tomorrow, I could probably bring the kids down into the basement and let them play with their new Christmas gifts while I play my video game. But I don't know. The video game, it's a lot of fun, but I don't know. It takes me a little while to get into it and to get excited about it. So when I did play it, I was excited about it for a little bit, but I kind of was like, I'm gonna turn this off. I feel like there's better things for me to do right now, and the game isn't that exciting right now. It's only exciting if you make it exciting. I didn't make it exciting, so Oh, and I totally forgot to get pictures. You guys might go to the Facebook group and be like, "Hey, where's the pictures of the boomer?" I didn't get any pictures of it. Totally forgot. And then I dropped off the containers, and it was later on when I remembered. I was like, "Oh, I didn't take any pictures of my truck." And I was thinking, why the fuck did I take a video? Because I did do a video of the double rail operation, but it was in a muddy field. It was a horrible time. It was not good for doing a video of how things are supposed to be done because we did nothing the way it was supposed to be done. Everything was hard. And this would have been a perfect fucking time because I had all the time in the world to get them loaded up. I could have taken a video. And I was by myself. And then I dropped them off by myself too. Uh, no issue. And it's like, man, I should have done an informational video on the double rail that wasn't me getting towed out of a muddy field by a fucking mini excavator. And I only loaded one container on that video. But anyways, I think we're gonna go ahead and end this. Hopefully I was able to keep your mind off of whatever bad shit, off of murder. Get your mind off of murder, okay? Even though I brought up murder. Never mind. I didn't do that. If you're a murderer and you're listening to this podcast, hey, don't do it. Stop doing it. You murdered my cousin, you son of a bitch. My wife's cousin. He was home. I didn't even know. Uh, I, yeah, it's not cool. It's not cool to murder him. Okay? And you got to watch out yourself. You don't want to get murdered either. Watch out. Keep all 18 down. And I'll talk to you again later. I don't know when. Later.